Hello everybody. In this screencast we're going to look at implementing assignment 8. You're given already a skeleton file which you can also access through Canvas or through the GitHub link that's going to be connected to this project. Basically it's one activity, multiple fragments. We need to integrate Firebase into the project and then we'll go from there. So let's add Firebase to the project. So I need to go to the app build Gradle. I need the namespace or the application ID, which is the package name. I go in, add an app. This is an Android app. Here's the name of it, register application. And then I need to change the project to be projects. And then I'm gonna move that file here. Here's the JSON file, here it is. And go to wherever that file is, drag, drop the file under the app folder. All right. Go back to Android. Here we are. Okay. Next, and then I need to add this into the project level. So the project level file, a Gradle file is here. I added it. Close that, and then I need to add this to the top of my app file. Here it is. And let's say I'm just gonna add, let's say, Firebase bomb. And we'll add analytics for the time being. I don't need to have analytics in this project, but anyhow, we had both of them here. And then click next here and go to console. So I added the project, or added this app to the project. Now, I know that this app will need authentication and so let's go back to the project. Here it is. Let's say we make it a little bit bigger so that this appears here. So I know that I will need authentication. I need to make sure that authentication, let me delete these users, delete account. Here it is. I had these accounts already, so anyway, so here we are, delete account, just to start fresh. Sign in method, make sure that you have the email and password enabled. Sign in method, and then Firebase, that Firestore database, make sure that it's also enabled. All right, so I have this set up. Now I need to go to docs to get the library names to include. So let's go to build authentication and build Firestore. There it is. So in authentication, I go to Android, getting started, and it will tell you the library name. So basically you are using here is Firebase Auth. I copy that, go back here to the app, and we go back here, and basically I don't think this app has OK HTTP or Picasso. I don't know why we included it, but anyhow, so here is Firebase Auth. Here that. I don't think we need analytics in this project. This is Firebase Auth, and then the Firestore also getting started. Scroll down a little bit, and we are doing Android, and it tells you here is Firebase Firestore, and so on. So we have added the libraries that we need. Sync now. Okay. Now, in order to run this, we can run it just to start and see what's happening, right? So make sure that you have to have Google Play as part of the project. Like when you create a new device, make sure that the device you create has this Play Store sign. And the one you pick should have the Play Store sign. All right, good. So I already have that one. Okay, so now we'll run the app for the first time and see how things go. Okay, perfect. So the project has been compiled already or built already. Now we can run it just to see what it looks like. And now we go back to the project and have a look at what has been provided to us. All right, so this is stuff that's been provided to us. There are some fragments. And if we go back to the app, we want to build the login and register. These are straightforward. I think they're already, even the layouts are already there provided for you, I think. Let's see, here's the login. Here's that. And the login, the register, and so on. We'll create them right now and we'll go from there. So let's see the main activity. Here it is, and basically loads the login fragment. Okay, we'll come back to this, but let's go to the login fragment. Here we are. Okay, here's the login fragment, and basically the login fragment is not going to receive any. We know that it's not going to receive any. Let me make this a little bit bigger. There it is. So we have the full screen to see what we are doing here. So here's the login. Okay, good. So now I don't need these. I don't need all of this. I don't need these comments. I don't need the on create, and probably I'll need to add the binding. Let me make sure of something in the project to make sure that the binding is enabled. Yes, here's build features, binding equal to true. So we're good here. So now we go back. Let's create binding for fragment login. So basically I'll walk you through the whole process of how to solve this whole assignment. Right, so here it is. Binding equals why is the autocomplete not happening? All right, okay, good. So binding equals fragment binding dot inflate get inflator parent or container false. So here we are, return binding dot get root. All right, good. So we're here. So you have the binding setup. Now we can also do on view created now. All right, on view created. So we'll have binding dot button create button dot set on click listener new on click listener. So basically that's when you wanna this is this button. So basically we are building this screen now, the login screen, email and password, submit, and this is the create new here. So that's one. And then similarly we have another button which is the submit button. So basically there is a button submit, and we need an interface. We'll call it interface. We'll call it the autocomplete is not happening for some reason. It is ready, enable completion. So now it's gonna work. Okay, interface, and I'll do login listener. All right, and then I'll have a void go to create account, and then void auth successful. Right, so that's the auth successful case. That's the listener, and then boilerplate code again. Then we have m listener. Here it is. On attach, and then basically we'll say m listener. Here it is. All right, here we are. So that's the m listener. Okay. And now when you do this, when you click on the create account, we'll just say mlistener.go to create account, and we're good here. Now here we want to authenticate. So in order to authenticate, we will use the Firebase Authenticator, and it's very straightforward. So basically we need Firebase auth, we call it mauth equal Firebase auth that get instance. And then basically in order to authenticate, let's first get the string email equals binding dot edit text email address dot get text get text to string. So that's the email, and here is the password, right? And now we'll do if email is empty, then we're gonna do something else. If password is empty, we're gonna do something here, else everything looks good, right? So basically we're just gonna put some toast messages. Toast enter valid email, right? Here it is. And similarly here, the password, we're just gonna ask to enter valid password. All right, okay, here we are. Now this means everything is good, so we'll do mauth dot sign in with email and password. Here it is, email and password. Here is the email. All right, here it is, and here's the password. Then dot add on complete listener new on complete listener, and here it is. So I have the on complete listener. All right, here is that. Okay, so I have the on complete listener. Now all what I have to do is the sign in process. So you see here it returns a task, and now because it returns a task, all what I have to do is check to see if the task is successful. If task is successful, right, and else it's not successful. So here I'll do a toast get activity, and then basically here the message can be returned from the task dot get exception dot get message. All right, get message, and here it is. That gives you the text telling you what went wrong. And then here, if everything went well, I'll just do mlistener dot, I'll say auth is successful, and that enables you to log in. All right, so here is the login code done. The sign in code is also very similar. I'll just copy that from here. Let's go back again to sign in code. So basically, the main activity needs to implement the listener. So here it is. The main activity needs to say implements login listener. And here it is. And we go here, implement methods. And here we go. Okay, so basically now we are implementing it. So when you go create a new account, we're just going to replace the current screen with the login screen. So basically this is with the register screen, or is it register or create account? Yeah, with the register fragment. You see here there's no backstack, we just replace it. And then on auto successful we also replace, but we're going to replace with the contacts fragment. All right, so here it is. Okay, so basically that's this. And then here also what we could do is we could do something like, we'll come back to it, but let's go do the register side of the world. Here it is, same thing. I don't need all these comments. I'm not going to send it any data. So all of these are not needed, all of this is not needed, and here we go. And we'll do the binding. So basically it's called fragment register binding, here it is. And then basically same story, binding equals, here it is, and then return binding dot get root. So we have the binding stuff done. On view created, and then there is binding dot cancel dot set on click listener, new on click listener. So there is a cancel one and there is a submit one also. All right, okay, here we are. And then there is a button submit. We need to create an interface and we call it the register listener, and then basically go to login, right? That's the one. And then the other one is, I'm going to use the same exact, because when you register successfully, your authentication is successful, so you can indicate that auth is successful. So basically I go to login, right? Or auth is successful, you see here. All right, good. So now we do the same thing again to get the listener on attach, and the code is very repetitive. Here we are, here it is. So basically registration, okay, and then if you click cancel, we'll just say listener to go to login, right? And then otherwise here we go get string name of the user, and binding dot get name, here it is, and then string email and the string password, right? So basically let's say edit text email address. So we have the email, password, and name, right? Now if we go back to the screen here and you see that it's name, email, and password, okay, good. So now we'll do the if else statement. If we can do something like that, you know, so basically we could just say toast get activity, all fields are required, or we can just do one by one, the same. Okay, here it is. Don't even need to return here, so we're good here. Else everything is good. Then now let's do the authentication. So now in order to do the authentication, we have to think about what we want to store. So basically we're going to store the username, email, and password. So we need the name of the person. If we need to store the email name of the person, we can do that, but in this application we're not even using the name of the person anywhere. But anyhow, in order to store the name of the person, I can store it in the user object. Okay, so where to store the full name is a design decision. So if we're going to use it at any stage, I don't think we're going to use it at all. But if we need it for the logged in user, currently logged in user, it's a good idea to store it under the profiles. And that's what I'm going to do. All right, so let's sign in the user. So basically what I'm going to do is I need an mauth. So basically I need, this is authentication. So basically you need Firebase auth. Firebase auth, call it mauth equals firebase.get instance, auth.get instance. And then here we are, we do mauth dot create user with email and password. Here is the email, here's the password. Notice there is no name, right? Okay, so we do that. We'll add the name after the user is created successfully, right? Dot add on complete listener, new on complete listener. So we have that here. All right. And now we have a task, also the same story. If the task is successful, we'll do something else, we'll do something else. Now here we'll just say error creating a user, and then we can concatenate to that the task.get exception dot to message, get message, right? So you can do something like that. Now in here, what we need to do is actually store that user under the user account. So now if we go back to authentication and you look at manage users, right? So basically if you scroll down a little bit, all of it, get current user, update the user profile. Here it is. This is how you update the user profile. So basically that's what we will do. Copy that. Here it is. And it's an update request. Here it is, options. And then the display name is going to be the name that we received. Here it is. And I don't need a photo URI. Here it is. I created a profile update request, and then the profile update request you need the user. So where I'm going to get the user from, because this account you have logged, created the user successfully, then you can get the user like this: moauth.get current user, get current user, because this is successful. It's a successful, and then here is update profile, then add on complete listener, new, another on complete listener. Here we are. And then if everything looked good, if task is successful, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do mlistener dot, otherwise I'm going to say error creating user, and so on. So basically notice what we did is we changed these two commands. One of them is to create a new user, and if it's successful, we create an update, we send it the new name, and we go all the way and store the name. We're not going to use the name here in this assignment. However, just to give you an idea of how to store the name into the user object. So here we are. This is the button submit here, and we took care of the other case of the cancel. So I think we are in good shape now to at least create a user. So let's say we go here. I ran the app. Here it is. Now let's change something quickly also here, the login fragment, and change the title. So basically on view created, we could do get activity dot set title to login, right? So basically here is login, and then similarly we'll do the same thing for the register so that you know what we are doing here. And then here we'll just say create account, create new account, and we run this again. All right, here we are, login screen. Let's create a new account, and it took us here. So it seems that the create account wasn't, the layout is not created or something. Let's have a look and see. Register, here it is. Oh, it is there, but it's fragment register. All right, so let's go back again to the registration fragment, fragment register binding. Okay. It is very interesting. Fragment register binding. All right, we don't need get inflator here. This is inflator already coming in as one of the parameters. Fragment register. So let's go back again. Fragment register. Here it is. Okay, let's run it again and see. Yeah, okay, good. So I think what's going to happen now is let's just make sure that we have everything wired correctly, and then we'll come back. So let's go back to the main activity. So the main activity also needs to implement the other listener, which is the register listener, right? Here it is. And notice that we already implemented one of the methods. It's only showing one, right? Because the auth successful is the same thing. So basically go to activity, go to login. I'll just go to login. Here it is. Let's run it again. Okay. Create account. Here it is. Now we'll create the full name. Let's say Bob Smith b@b.com test 1 2 3. Click submit, and here it is. We are in contacts. Good. So let's also implement logout. Let me run the app again. So when I run the app again, you see that it's still taking me to the login screen. I already logged in. So now to fix this is in the main activity here, right? So basically what we're going to do is that we're going to need the authenticator. So basically, because we need the authenticator, we'll have to do Firebase auth mauth equals Firebase auth. And now here we can ask the authentication if the user is logged in. So we'll do mauth get current user if it's not equal to null, right? Or let's say if it's equal to null, this means show the login screen. This user is not logged in, right? We'll show the login screen, else we'll show the contact screen. So basically what we will do is it's either this or it's gonna be the contacts fragment. Okay, good. So now if that's the case, now when we run this app now, because we registered, we have already a user and we're good. So it's meaning that the user get current user is not null and it will show up like this. Let's implement the logout. So let's go back to the contacts fragment. And in the contacts fragment, we need also an interface. And this is the contacts listener. And one of them is go to add contact, yes, and then logout. Okay, good. So we have the logout. Now we need to do the same thing for get mListener, the boilerplate code that we wrote before, on attach. And wait a little bit, and boom, here it is. Okay, so here we are. Now we go back here, and this implements the contacts for listener. And here it is. Okay, the logout, we already have the logout. So the logout, what we will do is we'll do mauth dot log or sign out, and then take me to the login screen. So basically I'm going to replace it with the login, replace the current screen with the login screen, right? Go to add contact, we'll come back to that in a little bit. So let's run this now. All right, here we are. Now if I click on logout, it should log me out. So I didn't wire it up. So basically let's go back here to the contacts fragment. I didn't wire it up. So where is on view created? Oh, sorry, here is the logout item, right? When you do the logout item, we'll do mListener dot logout, right? Let's run this again. Logout, log me out, right? So now let's say we try to log in using the same account, b@b.com. Test 1 2 3 4 5 6, submit, and tells me the password is invalid. Okay, good, because I know that it is not correct. It's tst123. All right, and I click on submit, and it takes me here. Okay, cool. So we are good, and things seem to be working fine. All right, good. So now what we want to do is we now going to go and look at the contact class and the contacts fragment and the create contact. So it's just things that we need to do, right? So now we implemented this screen, and we're able to come back here after logging in successfully into the contact side. Now let's say we would like to create a contact. So basically let's create a contact. So now in order to create a contact, we need to go to this screen. All right. So in order to go to this screen, the create contact screen, we're not going to send it any data. So basically I'm going to delete all of this at initialization. Delete all of this and this also and this also, and do the binding stuff. So fragment create contact binding. Here's the binding for that. And similarly, this we did this before. See, here it is. Okay, it's learning now. That's great. On view created, and then we'll do get activity dot set title create contact. All right, so we have the create contact stuff set up. Now from the contacts fragment, there is a plus sign which is sitting at the top also. So basically here we'll say mListener dot go to add contact, right? Okay, or maybe go to create contact. We call it create. How do I do that? If I want to change it, I'll just go here, right click, refactor, rename. It's going to change it everywhere. Go to create contact. All right, good. So that takes care of that. And that's going to take us to create contact. So now if we go back here is create contact. And basically, if we look closely at creating a contact, there is a name, email, and then there is another plus sign that takes you somewhere else. So let's just do this spaghetti stuff. Fix these plumbing so that we can go get a number and then come back and display it here and get this done. So basically, let's say contacts fragment, go to create contact is working now. Okay, good. So now let's go back here, and what I'm going to do is I would like to work on create contact and add phone number. So where is add phone number fragment? Okay. So add phone number fragment, basically what it is going to do is the same thing. I'm not going to send it any data. Basically add phone number, you just ask it, create a phone number for me. All right. And it should basically, all what it should do, it should send you back the phone number. All right. So basically here it is. Does it have a cancel button? So basically that's this screen. Now if we go back a little bit and look at add phone number screen, here it is. Here is the add phone number screen, straightforward. There is an add phone number, you enter phone number, blah, blah, blah. Let's build this screen. It's easy. You add a phone number, you pick up whatever its type is, and you click submit. It should package the phone number and send it back to the activity. Okay, good. So now we go back here. Fragment, add phone number binding, and binding, here it is. And basically we'll do the same thing here. And here is the binding, and then on view created, get activity, set title, and add phone number. Here it is. Okay. All right, here it is. And basically we have binding dot cancel dot set on click listener new on click listener, and then similarly there is binding dot submit dot set on click listener new. Okay, so basically there is submit and there is a cancel. So basically interface add phone number listener, and then basically send created phone. Okay, phone number. Okay, and this is the phone number that we're going to create. It's a phone number. All right, phone number, and then void cancel create phone number, and then same story. I'm gonna do this, and m listener. All right, here is a m listener, and then basically I'm going to do the on attach. There it is, and then m listener equals to this. Perfect. So now if you click on cancel, I'm going to do this dot. Okay, and then basically here I need to do some checks. String, let's say phone number, that's the phone number. So this is edit text phone number. I'm not going to check to see if it's a phone number and so on, but anyhow. Okay, so this is the number. Okay, and then similarly that's the phone number, and what I'm going to do is do some checking. Right, here it is. Do the toast here. Okay, enter phone number. Right, okay, and then basically what I'm going to do is here I need to go get the type, right? So basically whatever type it is. So basically let's start with string type equals cell, right? Here it is. Cell phone type, right? Here it is, and then check to see if binding dot get I need, let's see, binding dot radio. I need from the radio group, so an integer check ID. This is all stuff that we did before from the radio group, and then I check to see if check ID is equal to r.id dot radio button cell, right? And then a lot of else's, else ifs for the other ones. Here's one, else if okay, else if. So radio button cell, I think the other one is home, and then similarly we have office. Okay, is there office as one of them? Work. Oh, it's work. Okay, work, and then the last one is other. All right. Okay, then here it is, and then the type equals cell. All right, type equals home, type equals work, and then type equals other. All right, good. So now we have the type, and so basically in that contact what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a string. I'll make sure it's public string name, public string phone. Oh, sorry, this is the phone. This is the contact, sorry. I don't want the contact. I'm not going to work on the contact now. I'm going to work on the phone number. There it is. And then basically public string number and then public string type. Alright, here we are. So we have the phone number and type. Let's create a constructor, an empty constructor first of all, and create another constructor that takes both of them, constructor that takes both, and create a getter and setter. Alright, so we have that. Good. So now what I'm going to do is when you do add phone number, I have the type, we have the number, I create the phone number like this, pass it the type, and then mlistener dot send created phone number to phone number. So that's it. Okay. Basically here is the submit button, straightforward, nothing more, nothing less. This is the add phone number. That's it. Okay, cool. So it just sends back the phone number, right? So here is the add phone number. Done. Now, when you do create fragment, basically what we want to do is there is a button at the side here. Let's say, where is it? So there is a button here. When you click on it, we want to go here to add phone number, right? So so basically we'll do binding dot button. There is a button, most probably button, or it's an image view add dot set on click listener new on click listener, and this all what it does is list. Okay, we don't have a listener yet, right? So basically, let's do that. Create contact, right? So basically, we need to add phone number. So basically, we need an interface, create contact listener, create contact. No, go to add phone number, right? And we don't need to send it anything. Here it is. Go to add phone number. Yes. And then similarly, we can also have a void cancel create contact, right? So that's another one, and maybe that's it. So basically in the creation of the phone number, the submit, and then let's say void completed create contact, right? And we do the same thing. We need the listener on attach. See here, listener, here it is. And we're good. So basically now we need, when you click on the add sign, I'll just do listener dot go to add phone number. Right. Similarly, I have the binding dot cancel button dot set on click listener new on click listener listener dot cancel create contact, and then similarly here binding dot submit dot set on click listener new. Here we'll have to add some Firebase stuff to store the phone number on Firebase and so on, right? To store the contact, I mean, on the Firebase and stuff. So let's say we go back here and we go back to the main activity, and there are some handlers that we need to implement. So contacts fragment, and then comma and enter. We also need the create contact listener, right? And then the add phone number listener, right? Here it is, and we go here and implement the methods, and here they are. All right, so send contact phone number, we're gonna do that. This one we're gonna just pop the backstack get support fragment manager dot pop backstack. That's one, right? That's one. Cancel also here. Also in the created contact we're gonna do the same thing. Go to add phone number. So basically we're gonna copy that stuff from here and paste it here. Go to add phone number, and then this is the add phone number fragment, and then we add to the backstack dot add backstack. No, here it is. All right, so this is when you want to go to add a phone number, and similarly go to create contact, same thing, but here we'll do create contact fragment and add to backstack. All right, so now the create contact fragment, we know that it needs to receive these phone numbers, right? It needs to receive these, yes. So that's why we need also to give it a tag, right? So basically I need to give it a tag, create, let's say contact. So that's the tag for it, and that's when you go to create a contact, right? So basically when you come back here, what I could do is I could do this. I want to send it back, that code. So this is the create contact contact fragment equals get support fragment manager dot find fragment by tag, and the tag is create contact, and here it is. And then I need to check to see if it's null or no, right? This is very important. Here it is, to check to see if the create contact is not equal to null. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to send it this, right, information. So basically I need to send it the phone number. So basically let's go back to the create contact. I'll have a list of phone numbers here, an array list of phone number phone numbers. Here it is. Okay, and then basically I'm just gonna create a method to add something to it. Okay, so basically void public void add to phone numbers. Here it is. You send me a phone number and I'm gonna add it. Okay, good. So that's this. And then basically if we go back here, we'll just say create contact fragment to add phone numbers, and I'm gonna send the phone number to it, and I'm gonna pop the backstack. So basically get support fragment manager, pop backstack, pop the backstack, and then I'm just gonna return. Okay. Alright, so we're good here. Now we're sending back the phone number to the create contacts fragment, and then basically here we need to be able to manage the we need to be able to display these. So basically if you look, there is a recycler view here now. So let's do the recycler view adapter. So let's, where is that? I'm gonna add it here, public or private. Let's say private class. I'll call it the phone number adapter. Adapter extends recycler view dot adapter, and it needs a view holder, which I don't have yet. So I'll do class phone number view holder. Here it is, and that is what is here. Options enter, import it here, and then there are some methods we need to implement. Oops. Okay. Implement the methods, and here we are. The item count is gonna be m for numbers dot get dot size. Right, here it is. And then this is all boilerplate. We have already created for you a phone list item. Right, here it is. I don't know why you have this image. Do we need the image? No, we don't need the image. So I don't know, maybe this image carried over from somewhere else, so we'll delete the image. Here is the image deleted, and then this guy goes all the way here, and then similarly this goes here and goes all the way here. So basically it's a number and then something under it. Okay, good. So we're good here, 1 and 2, and we're good. So this is the phone number, this is the name of the person, and this is the price. I think I didn't change the IDs. And this is the image view. Okay, good. So basically one of them is the phone number. Let's change that. So let's do this. This is the split. What is that one? This is going to be the phone. This is going to be the phone number. Here it is. Now it's not happy, so we'll just change it. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. And this is the type, right? Cool. So I think we're good. Okay, I think we're good. So we go back again. I just have phone number. I have a type. Okay, good. So we're good here. Go back here. Now it's going to be called the phone number, phone list item binding, equals item binding here. And then basically I usually in the holder I do the same thing here. Instead of this I will put this here, and then I'm gonna do this here. I'm gonna say item binding dot get root, and then this dot item binding equals item binding, and then basically here we return a new holder with the item binding provided. Okay, public setup UI, and you're going to send me a phone number, public void, and phone number. I'm gonna send me a phone number. Boom, boom. Okay, and then we'll store it here. Phone number phone number. Here it is. We'll do this dot m phone number equal to this, and basically we just show the phone number. All right, so here we are. Get number. Here it is. So basically we are displaying the number, we're displaying the type, and then we can also do the item binding dot delete dot set on click listener new on click listener. Basically all we're going to do is remove it from the numbers and just notify the data has changed, right? And we can do that because we are also inside the adapter. You see, we're inside the adapter. Now the view holder is very easy. So you have the holder dot setup UI, get the item at the position, and we are done with our phone's adapter. Here it is. Control C, and we go in and create our adapter. So basically we go here, adapter, we'll just initialize it, and then on view created, let's do this stuff. We'll do it here. Let's say here adapter equal to this, and then we do binding dot recycler view. I think we called it recycler view. Go back here, and oops, I also know that binding dot recycler view dot set layout manager equal to new linear layout manager, get context, and so on. And we do this, and we're good. So basically that's it. So basically if we run this, I don't know, we did too many things, but all what I did is just, again, a lot of boilerplate code. So here we are. I didn't store anything yet. Click on the plus sign, takes me here. Click on here. Let's add a phone number. Let's say this, and it's a cell phone. Click on submit. Here's the cell phone number, and let's add another one. Here it is. Make it home, submit, and here it is. Now when I click on the delete, you see the delete gets removed and displayed again. This is all stored locally, so we're good. Add another one, let's say work, and here we are, submit, and here we go. We're good, right? Now all what we need to do is just add a name and an email, and we're good to go. So let's see how we're going to do that. So that's where it's in the submit, right? So basically in the submit, I need a name. Okay, and here's the name, and then I have the email of the person. It's called email. All right, here it is. So I have the name and the email. I also can do some checks, right? So basically I'm going to do if name is empty or the email is empty. I could just say name and email are required. I can do something like that. Toast get activity and paste this here. Oops. Here it is. Okay, so if that's the case, else if the phone numbers dot size is equal to 0, right, then this means there's a problem. Else then everything is good. Now here we need to add at least one phone number, right? One phone number is required. All right, so at least one phone number is required, and here we are. Now else we have everything. So basically now, in order to store something on Firebase, what I would like to do is to store it like this. I want to store it like this. I'm going to store it under a collection that I'm going to call contacts. Okay, and then under contacts, this will just be an automatic ID. Here it will have the name of the person, right, and it has then it has the email of the person, and then it will have the phone numbers. I can call it like that, phone numbers, and that is going to be an array where I'm going to store each one of them here as a map. I'll show you how, but it's going to be phone numbers, an array of phone numbers, and so on. So basically name, email, and then phone numbers. All right, good. So basically what I'm going to do is this. Let me show you. Here I'm going to create a hash map of type string, and the key is a string, and then object is the value, and I'll call it, for example, data equal new hash map. And I'm going to say data.put name as this, data.put email as this, and data.put phone numbers as the M phone numbers. And basically, I'm just going to take the whole array list of phone numbers and store it as phone numbers here. And what it's going to do is it's going to translate it into an array on Firebase using the same names of the attribute names that you had in here. Like you will have a number and have a name attribute. So here it is, and then basically now to store, I need to do Firestore. So basically, in order to use Firestore, I will use Firebase Firestore, and I'm going to call it DB, and here it is. That's this. Now basically, it's DB dot collection, and we said we were going to call it contacts, right? And then basically, and it's going to be a document. You see here, this returns a document reference. This is just a document reference. It has a unique ID, so I can do a document reference. I call it docref. So basically, I have a document reference. There is no document created yet. So this is a reference to a document that I'm going to create, right? Now, what I also would like to do is data. So I'm going to do this, data.put. I'm also going to put the document ID. I'll call it doc ID, right? And then basically it's document reference dot get ID. So basically, after creating a document reference, I'm just going to add that document ID into my data, right? So basically, I want to store the data. So basically, all what I do is I say document reference dot set, and I give it the data, and then dot add on complete listener, new on complete listener. You see here, it gives you a task. And then you can check to see if the task is successful, right? Else, if the task is not successful, I'm going to show a toast message. So I'm going to do a toast, get activity, and then I'm going to show task dot get exception get message. Otherwise, I'll just say mListener dot completed create contact, right? Alright, good. So now if we run this, let's see. Cancel that. Alright. We run it. We go here. We add a new contact. Let's say, for example, I'll add Bob b@b.com. And okay, and here we are. And let's say I click submit. It's not going to work. We need at least one phone number. Let's say we add one phone number for Bob. Alright, let's add another one. Let's add some work number. Here it is. And now I click on submit, and now we go back. Let's have a look. So now when we refresh, we'll see that contacts, this is the document ID. You see here the same document ID. You see these two are the same. The email, the name, phone numbers. You see here it's a map. It's an array of maps, right? So basically these are objects that we added. This was an array list, right? This you see here, for example. Phone numbers, this is an array list. If you go all the way, this is an array list of phone number. All right. And basically it's serialized it into this. You see, into this, and we have the document ID and so on. Also, something else we want to do is to store who is the owner of this, because we only want to show the contacts that you created, like that belong to you, the person who's logged in, right? So basically what we also need to do is to store the ID of the currently logged in user. So in order to do that, we need Firebase auth. Auth equals Firebase auth dot get instance, right? Get instance, right? Here it is. So we have this. Now what we can do is we can store the name of the user like this, data dot put, let's say for example UID as mauth dot get current user dot get UID, and boom, you get the user ID, and that's going to be stored here. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to delete this one, delete the document. Here it is. Now I run it again, and I'm going to store the ID of the user who created the item. So we go here, add some phone numbers. Here's one phone number, submit. This is all random, right? So here is another phone number, phone, let's say Alice a@a.com. Okay, and I click on submit. Go back here, and you can see that Alice is stored, and I have the user ID of the user who created it. All right, this is very important because now I need to in this contact screen I need to show the list of users based on the list of users, right? The list of contacts that were created by this current user. I'll copy this stuff from here. We'll see in a little bit why. I go back here. I go to the contact class, and if you look at the contact class, what we did is we had a name for it. So public name. We have a name, email, UID, and then doc ID. Right? These are the fields that we had. Yes. So basically, we took care of these ones. And then what about the phone numbers? So the phone numbers, we called it phone numbers, right? So basically, this is an array list. So again, public array list of phone number, and we call it phone numbers. Okay, here it is. And then we'll go in, create a constructor which is empty, and then similarly we create a getter and setter for all the fields, and we're good to go. Notice that I used exactly the same names because I'm going to use the reverse option, meaning that when I'm receiving data, I can just ask Firebase when it receives the data to cast whatever it receives to this object, right? All right. So we'll look at that in a little bit. Now we want to build the the contacts fragment, right? So now let's go back. We go here, the contacts fragment, and here we are. So basically, in the contacts fragment, we would like to set up a snapshot listener, right? So basically, we need to set up a snapshot listener so basically, in order to do that, we need a couple of things. And that snapshot listener should query for contacts that were created by this specific user. So basically, where the user ID, this user ID is equal to the currently logged in user ID. So basically, we need Firebase auth equal to Firebase get instance. And then we also need Firebase Firestore db equals, here it is. So we have both of these right now. Now we need to set up the snapshot listener. So in order to set up that snapshot listener, what I'm going to do is, and notice that we talked about this before in the video that discussed this, is that if you set up a snapshot listener, you also have to think about when you detach it. So basically, we need to do on destroy view. We need to detach it. In order to do that, you see db.collection is called contacts, right? And then basically under contacts, I need to add a query. So basically, where equal to, see, this is then the field and the value, right? So basically, the field is UID, right? Where UID, and then comma, the value is mauth.get current user dot get UID. Now notice something. What does this return? So basically, I'll do here where returns what? Where, okay, good. So that returns a query, and then dot add snapshot listener. You see, add snapshot listener returns a listener registration. All right. So basically, we need an instant. We need the reference to that listener registration. I'll call it contacts listener or whatever you want to call it. Okay, or you can call it snapshot listener. Here it is. So basically, that's going to be this equal to this, and then add snapshot listener new, and here it is. Okay, so we had the snapshot listener. Now this contact listener is that here you check to see if the contact listener is not equal to null, then we remove it. So basically, we're going to remove it, and then we do contact listener equal to null. All right, so basically remove it means removes the snapshot listener from the event. And then here basically it's getting a snapshot, meaning it's gonna get data. So basically what we could do is we could do check to see if there is any error, right? So basically if there is any error, if error is not equal to null, we can do a toast here, get activity, and then we can do error dot get, right? For example, error dot get message to display it. Right now, if value is not equal to null, then what we could do is, so that's the value that's coming in. This is a list of the query results, right? So basically, we can do for each query document snapshot, and we call it doc as of value. All right, here it is, and then basically this option import class. So basically it's just a snapshot of the document, and then basically what I could do here, I can have a list of contacts. I know that I need a list of contacts, array list contact contacts, and basically if I'm here, I'm just gonna say contacts dot clear. This removes every one of them, and then contacts dot add. Okay, good. So now what I'm going to do is I need the contact to change it to a contact class. So contact class, here it is, the contact that we're looking at. I have a document, and then I take the document, change it to an object using the contact class. Now I could do listener contacts dot add contact, and then here I need to notify the adapter and so on. So now we need to create the adapter and so on. Now if we look at these contacts, it's also a recycler view, similar idea. So we'll do the same thing here. So I'm going to add a class. I'll call it the contacts adapter extends recycler view dot adapter. All right, here we are. And then there is another class inside, which is the view holder. Okay, here it is. And then the view holder needs a constructor. Here it is. So I have the view holder, put it here. Okay, import the class, and then I need to implement the method, import the class, and then I need to implement the methods. Here it is. Okay, and this one is going to be the contacts.get that size. All right, I think it's called the contact list item, contact list item binding, and this is going to be the item binding equals the contact item binding. And then we'll do the same thing, copy this from here. We did this before, right? We just did this a couple of minutes ago. All right, here it is. And then item binding dot get root, and here we are. Okay, and then public void setup UI, and it's gonna send me a contact contact. All right, here it is. And then basically here it is. Name, email, and basically what we're doing is we're displaying one of them and then end others, so we can do that easily. So what I'm going to do is Control X. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is if contact, oh yeah, I need to store that, so basically let me store it. Contact contact, here it is, and then we'll just need to store it here. Contact equals contact equal to contact. I mean, okay, good. And now we can do if contact dot get phone numbers dot size is greater than 0. Okay, then we're good. There is something in it. All right. Then we do else right? And then we can do another if here. If it's equal to 1, there is only one item in it, right? Else, and so on, right? So basically, all right, good. So if it's equal to 0, we're going to do item binding dot phone number, and we're going to show that no phone numbers, right? No phone numbers, right? Text view phone number, right? So that's 1. Now if it is, this is the case, if it has this one, what we're going to do is it's going to be, we get the first one, right? And so phone number, okay, this means there is something. We get the first phone number, here it is, and then we're going to show it is, if it's equal to 1, this means that it is going to be phone number dot get number, right? So that's what we want. We want the phone number, and then between brackets we just want to display that phone number. Okay, and then we'll do phone number dot get type. Okay. And 0 other phone numbers, let's say. This is what we're doing. 0 other numbers. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's one. And the other one, we're just going to do something like this. There it is. And then we can get the size. We can get the size here if we need to. So size equals, that is the size. Okay, and we can pick it here, size. And then basically what I'm going to do is, because I know that the size is equal to 1, this means 0. Here it's going to be size minus 1. So I'm going to do something like this. And I'm going to surround this by bracket here, and there it is. So basically it's the first number and the remaining ones just minus 1, and we're good to go. So I have that setup UI. I'm going to call it, this one is new, there it is, and item binding, we do that, and then holder dot setup UI, and here's my contact. Good. So now the adapter is set up. We'll look at the delete in a little bit, but let's set up the adapter. So basically here, where are we going to do this? We go here, we say adapter equal to this. We don't have to create a new instance, just create an adapter to start with. And then on view created, so basically here we want to do this, adapter dot notify data has changed, right? Notify data has changed, right? There it is. Alright, so that's here. Now let's set up our recycler view. So basically we know that binding adapter equal to this, binding equal to this, and then binding recycler view, binding dot recycler view dot set layout manager, new linear layout manager, get context or get activity. Here we are. Okay, good. So now we're good here, and things are going to show up. So now notice again how I'm going to get it is by writing a query. So basically I wrote a query where the user ID is this, right? Okay, where the user ID is equal to this, right? Okay, good. So now if we go back to the app, where is the running device? And here we are. Now let's add another user. Let's say, for example, we add Tom, t@t.com. all right, add another phone number, add a phone number for him. Let's say 1111111. Add, this is one phone number, submit, and you see here it says that no phone numbers. Let's fix that and see why things are not working. All right, okay. Let's have a look at our let's have a look at the adapter. Phone numbers dot size, right? So basically that's what we need to do. So basically I'm gonna cut this from here. Okay, that's phone numbers. I'm just gonna see size is when size is equal to 0. This one, if size is equal to 0, right? So this is the size, right? If the size is equal to 0, right, then we go from there. We show no phone numbers. Otherwise, we go in and do stuff, right? So let's run again. Here it is. You see here, this is cell phone number, 0 other numbers. This person has 1 number. Go again. Let's say we add Harris h@h.com. Go here, add that person. Let's add 2 numbers. Here it is. Add 1, add 2, add 3. There it is. And I click on submit. 3 numbers. So basically Harris has 1 and then 2 other numbers. Okay, good. So we are, it seems things are working, right? Now to delete is also very easy. So another thing is, we know that when we create a contact, we also store with it the document ID, right? Which is amazing. We can now delete using the document ID. Now we are here. So basically item binding dot the delete button dot set on click listener, new on click listener. In order to delete is very easy. I'll just say db collection, contacts, document, and then to get the ID, I'll just get doc ID, and then ask it to delete. That's it. That's how you delete a contact. It's one line. Because the contact is a document and it doesn't have any children collections, we just delete the document, right? So now if we run this, and then I don't have to notify the adapter or anything. When I delete it, the snapshot listener gets notified, and then the snapshot listener is going to go read all the list of, receive the list of users and so on, or the contacts, and then it's going to refresh the list. So now let's say we delete Alice. You see here, Alice is being deleted. You go here, you see Alice, you only have 2 documents, right? Notice also something else here. If I change the user ID, notice, so if I, let's say I'll bring this screen a little bit to the side here. If I change the user ID, let's say I add some 7s to it, I click on update, see here it disappears. Why? Because we are doing a query based on the user ID. It has to match. So basically if I go in, I edit this one, let's say instead of M I put I at the beginning. All right, update. Now this is also disappeared. Now let me return it back to the correct value. Okay, update, it appears again, right? This is all because of the snapshot listener. I post also here, and boom, you get both of the users. All right, so we have the delete, we have all these features. We're able to add a contact, and we're able to delete, and we're able to list these contacts. Very nice. Now what if you click on one of them? We want to go to the next screen. So basically in order to click, so basically we go here, item binding dot get root dot set on click listener, new on click listener, and basically we want to go to the next screen. So basically we want to go to the next screen and we want to send it a contact. So void go to contact details. I'm going to send you a contact. Now in order to do that, this needs to be serializable. This needs to be serializable, and the phone number also needs to be serializable. All you have to do is implement serializable, and the same story with this one, implements serializable. Why I had to make the phone number serializable? Because you see the contact is serializable, then everything under it has to also implement serializable. These primitive types like the string, integer, they already are serializable. Then you have an array list of phone numbers. This phone number needs to be serializable also. That's why I added serializable here. Okay, good. So now contact details. So basically is the fragment contact details. We know that we're going to send you a contact. Okay, good. So now we're going to send you a contact. This is parameter contact. Here it is. There it is, Control C, Control V. Here is my contact that I'm going to send you. Only one parameter. It's a contact, and I call it M contact. Right, I'm going to send you, and all of this stuff. Bye. I don't need all of this. The method I need, and I'm going to update it such that it receives a contact. And basically, I put serializable. Arg contact, here is the contact, here it is, and we close all of that stuff here. And then this one is M contact, get serializable, and arg contact. So I have the contact also here, and then here we just cast it. So cast it to a contact, and we're good to go. All right, so basically we are going to go to here, right? And this has an edit feature. We'll come back to the edit feature, but I want to display the contact. Okay, good. So basically we are here, and it comes in here, and let's do some binding stuff. So fragment contact details binding, here it is, and we close all of that stuff and all of this, and binding equals, here we are, return binding.getRoot, here we are. Okay, good. And we'll do the on view created, here it is. All right, cool. So now we will go here. So when we call it contact details, so basically I'm going to do here get activity dot set title contact details. All right, here we are. And basically I have a contact. So basically binding the dot text view name dot set text m contact get name, and then binding dot text view email dot set text m contact dot get email. So basically I can show the email and the email of the user, right? and we'll come back to it. But what I'm going to do is I want to also display these stuff, right? So basically, and we also need a, let's see, a phone list item. I can do that, right? And maybe hide the phone number from it. Okay, cool. So I'll do that. So basically, this is a okay. So this is a list view. So I'm just gonna I don't know if it's a list view or let's see contact details. Here it is. Yes, it's a list view. Perfect. Okay, good. So now we have a list view. So we just need an adapter, right? So basically, and I'll go here. I'll do class phone. Okay, phone numbers or phone numbers adapter extends array adapter of type phone number. Goes here, click here, get constructor with super, and I will pick one which has a list, this one. All right, here we are, and then we'll do the same thing, get view. All right, here we are. Good. So now we're in. Let's create a list of, we already have the list of phone numbers. Actually, the list of phone numbers is gonna be coming in from the contacts, right? The contact object that we receive. All right. So now this one, we know we need to return the convert view. This is all boilerplate code, right? So basically we need to have a phone list item binding. We call it the item binding. Here it is. And then we do if the convert view equal to this. Here we are. And then else. This is all boilerplate. So basically this get layout inflator. Here it is. Binding equal to this, tuck, and then we have the thing here and we return it. Good. And then here we can get the phone number that we're looking at. The phone number is the phone number equals get item at position, and then here we are. All right, so this is the type, text view, the type, get phone number, and we're displaying them, and we're good to go. So here is the adapter. Now we copy that, go in, and at the top, maybe where is the list that I have here, just so that all my variables are in the same place. I don't need this. Okay, good. So we are here. Let's say we go here, we say adapter. All right. Okay, so adapter equal new one adapter. It needs the context. Okay. And then it needs the phone, the layout, and then needs the list. The list sits inside the mcontact, right? Here it is. That's my adapter. Okay. Now another idea is to have your list here. I think it's better to have the list here. So we'll have the array list of phone number, and I call it phone numbers, or we'll call it M phone numbers. Just let's do M phone numbers equal to new array list. And then before doing all of that, I'll just say M phone numbers dot clear. All right, and then M phone numbers dot add all M contact phone numbers. So basically I'm just going to copy these phone numbers here, and then this becomes my M phone number. We will see why in a little bit, because I know that this assignment requires you to set up a snapshot listener for the adapter here. So this screen. So if you look here and the contact details, where is that here? The contact details fragment. Set up a snapshot to listen to the real time updates of the contact. So we need to do that. So we'll fix it in a little bit. So anyway, so that's the adapter, and now we need to tell the binding dot recycle dot list view dot set adapter to adapter. All right, here it is. We run this, it's not happy for some reason. The main activity implement, there's a method that we added here, and then basically we need something that adds to the back stack. All right, copy this from here, paste it here, go to contact details, replace with not a new, but contact details fragment dot new instance, and you paste the contact. And then I don't know if we need a tag or not for the time being, but we don't need a tag, and we add to backstack. Now if we run it, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's see. So we are here, we pick a contact. We need to set up this listener. So basically if we go to the contacts fragments, we never set it up. Here it is. mListener dot go to contact details, and we send it the mcontact. Now we run it again. All right, here we are. Click on here, takes us here. Here's the contact details, Harris, and all of the stuff is being displayed. Excellent. There's no delete. There is no delete icons here. So basically it seems that when you go here, we don't need to see these delete items. Okay, good. So now in order to do that, I'll just hide them. Contact details, it's in the adapter. So basically the adapter is here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do item binding dot delete dot set visibility to invisible. All right, here it is. So now when you run them, here is the running device, and you can see that if you click here, it shows you the contact information. Right, here it is. Okay, here they are, and here is this guy. You go click on the back button, it should go back. So basically all of that stuff is in the contact details. You need an adapter, so basically an interface. You need an interface, I mean, and this is the contact details listener. Okay, details listener, and there is edit contact. So in order to edit a contact, you need to send the contact all the way. Okay, we'll do that, and then void done or cancel contact details, right? So something like that. Okay, and we do the mListener stuff. mListener on attach. Here it is. Listener equals to, okay, if we just wait a little bit, it's going to show us this. Here it is, tab, here it is. Now if we are here, so basically edit item, we're going to do this dot edit contact, and we send it to mcontact, right? And similarly that's with this case, and then we need the button to go back. So this is in on view created. Where is that stuff? On view created, we'll do binding dot button back dot set on click listener new on click listener mListener dot cancel. Cool. So now why snapshot listener is very interesting, because they are asking us to have a snapshot listener. Okay, good. So now in order to do a snapshot listener, we know we need the on destroy view part, and I need to set up the snapshot listener. So in order to set up the snapshot listener, this means I need the Firebase Firestore db equal to this, right? And then basically I'll set up my snapshot listener here, and we'll do db.collection. This is contacts, right? Dot document, and I know the ID of the document. It's in mcontact.get document ID dot set dot add snapshot listener new snapshot listener. We're good to go. So basically you can do some error checking. So basically if error is not equal to null, then we can display a message here. For example, I could do toast get activity, and then error dot get message, right? Here it is. Return is fine. Okay, so we can do the return, and then basically here we have a value which is a document snapshot. So basically you could check to see you can do all of that stuff, right? So basically I can do all of that stuff, right? So we can get the contact, but we can do it equal to mcontact. So we can do mcontact equal to this, right? And then basically we got the value, and then we can do mphone numbers dot clear, and then we can do mphone number add all, right? So basically what I could do is I can do it here. I can have a method. I could call it, for example, setup UI, right? I could do void display contact, right? And basically what it does is does this stuff. So basically it's gonna do this stuff, right? And then what it could do is you could and then it the adapter equal to this. We can do it like this, or we can also, yeah, let's do it like this. I know there is a little bit of a headache here, and we could do display contact. Here it is. This is how you display a contact, right? We can do something like that. Okay, here display contact, and then we can do the adapter something like this here, right? Binding dot adapter blah blah blah. And then here what we could do is we can do display contact and then adapter dot notify data has changed, because we don't need to reset up the adapter again. So that's what's happening here. You see if the value exists and so on. But we also need the listener registration, right? Listener registration, and we could call it contact listener equal to this. And basically I need to copy this from here to here, and then basically we could delete this, and then in on destroy view we check to see if contact listener is not equal to null, right? Remove, and then we do contact listener equal to null. All right, so if we run this, let's see. Okay, we are here. We click here. Okay, it's going in the wrong place. Why is it here? I don't know. Let's have a look. Go back. Let's run it again. All right, good. So probably we didn't set up the event handler correctly to implement the main activity. Didn't implement that listener. So let's see. So basically add phone number, and then here we need the contact details fragment dot contact details listener, and there are some methods we need to implement. Edit, we'll do that, and then pop the backstack get support fragment manager dot pop backstack. So that's something like that. Now if we run this, it's not gonna crash. Here we are. Click here, takes us here. Click back, goes back. Harris shows that stuff. Click back, and so on, right? Now notice something also. If that data changes, it will change here again. So basically if we're looking at Harris, so this is the Harris guy here. Now let's say we somehow edited the name to have some F's at the end. You see the F's are changing right here because of the snapshot list, right? You see that? Similarly, the cell phone numbers, let's say if we deleted this one, you see, it will disappear. Make sense? All right. Now what's left in this whole assignment, we're able to create contacts, right? So here is a contact. Submit doesn't work. I know this is all garbage data, but just so that I could show you this quickly. Here it is, submit, and here's the user, submit. I added that user here. I can delete the user. I can see the user. I can go back. I can delete that user. I can add another user. I'm able to go here. Now the edit feature. So let's go and do the edit. So basically edit contact. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do get support fragment manager. The edit, I need to send it the contact, right? Because it's gonna need to be able to edit that contact, right? So it's very similar. The edit is very similar to what we did here, right? So the display and edit is exactly the same, and the edit is a completely different fragment compared to the create, right? So okay, anyway. So now when we do the edit, we need to keep in mind a couple of things. One, if you click on the plus sign, it opens up the add contact fragment. So this edit will have very similar features to the add contact, right? There is no snapshot listener needed for the edit. If you go up a little bit, you will see that the edit, it set up a snapshot list. So okay, so we need to set up a snapshot listener. That's good. So that's the edit. So we need to go and see how to set up that edit, and the snapshot listener is probably to display these phone numbers, right? So basically if you go back, the phone numbers to manage the phone number deletions, right? Okay, so and the phone number additions in order to display them or to do so. So it's very similar to the creation of a phone number, right? It's very, very similar. But it receives a contact so that it can display them. So the array is already initialized with that list, right? So let's see. So let's just do a little bit of wiring up and we go from there. So let's set up going to the edit contact. So here it is. If we go to the edit contact fragment, same story. So it's very similar to contact details, right? Very, very similar. You know, I'm gonna copy all of that stuff from here. Edit contacts. I'm gonna delete all of this. I know, but I'm gonna delete it just and update it such that it makes sense to you. Give me a second. So here we are. All right, so we have that. We have a contact. We don't need this one, and this is gonna return an edit contact. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. And then the on create, we don't need all of that stuff here. All right, good. So now we have all what we need. It has no many options. Here it is. All right, good. So now this is the edit contact. So fragment edit contact binding equals. Oh, sorry, we need to set up that, and we need to set it up here. All right, good. Okay, let's take a closer look at this create or edit contact. So basically, edit contact, you click on this link, it takes you here, takes you to the edit contact, and basically it should display the name and the current name and the phone numbers and so on. Now the user should be able to change the name, change the email, and directly interact with these phone numbers, right? So what I'm going to do is, when you receive this contact, I am going to first display the name and email and so on, and then also display the phone numbers. And then when you click on the plus sign, it takes you to the add phone number. And then when you come back, that number should be added in the users list, right? So we need an adapter for this. We need to handle this case here, and also it needs to be able to have a snapshot listener so that this list is up to date with whatever list that you have on the system. So here it is. We did this. We need to do the on view created, and then get activity dot set title, and we call it edit contact, right? All right, so here we are, and we know that there is an interface. We call it, for example, edit contact listener. Then we'll do the same thing here. Let's see, when we were at create contact, there was go to add phone number, right? We can do that. So basically, when you go here, we had go to add phone number, right? So basically, when you click on the plus sign, go to add phone number, and then there is submit and cancel. So basically, there is done editing contact, right? So that's this, and then basically void cancel editing contact, right? Here it is, and we'll go and do some boilerplate code mListener on attach, and here we are. Okay, that's this. Now we can do the binding dot cancel button dot set on click listener new. Here we are, and then basically we'll just do mListener dot cancel editing contact, binding dot button submit dot set on click listener new. We'll look at submit case here, but we'll do binding dot image view add dot set on click listener new, and here we are. Okay, and we'll do something like that. Go to the activity and implement and add that here, and here we are. Implement the methods, and here it is, done editing, and both of them just pop the backstack and pop the backstack. And you see here, when you do go to add phone number, it just adds a phone number right now. Nice. Now, when the phone number comes back, it needs to send the phone number there, right? So basically, if you look at the part where the phone number gets added, is where we do send the phone number here. So basically, what it does is that it finds it by find by tag. Finds what by tag is what's gonna receive the phone number, and in our case, it's the edit contact one here that's gonna receive it, right? So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna copy this stuff from here. I'm gonna paste this here. Begin, replace, and then this is going to be edit fragment, add phone number, and then basically I'm going to do edit contact, right, and so on. So basically that's going to be edit contact and so on. So basically what I'm going to do is that in the add case here, you see here we returned, but if you see in the add case, what we can do is we do something similar. We do edit contact fragment, find it by tag using the edit contact. See here the same thing that we had here, and then the same story. We'll do if edit contact is not equal to null. We just need to add two phone numbers, right? That's what I'm going to do. So where do we do that? Add, I'll call it add new phone number, right? So that's the method that we're going to do, and basically this is going to be in edit phone numbers, and basically we are going to do public void add phone number, and you're going to send me a phone number. Okay, so that phone number is going to be added, and if you go here, that's the number, and then get support fragment. I'm going to pop back stack, and we're good to go. So you see here, it's basically the same fragment which adds phone number. It figures out which one to send the phone number to by just trying to find it on the backstack, and if it does, then it's not going to be equal to null, right? So basically, if it does, it's not equal to null, it goes in and does whatever it's doing here, and then it returns. Now, so on the other case, right? Okay, so that's taking care of adding the phone number. Now, let's go back to main activity, contact details. Where is contact details? Now, let's see, when you click on the edit, so basically that's on here it is, edit contact, right? So basically, if we run it, let's see. Okay, so send report. Now, I don't know why my emulator is not working, but let's see. All right, so here is running devices. Its install is successful. Stop, refresh, run it again. All right, here we are. Okay, we're back. Okay, so now what I would like to do is, we are here, right? So basically, we would like to go from this screen to this screen. All right, so let's do that. I click here, and I click here, edit contact. Very nice. So now inside edit contact, when we first enter, right? So what I would like to do is, all right, so when we first enter, what I'm going to do is on view created, here we are. Now I can set up some information about binding dot text edit name dot set text to mcontact dot get name, right? So basically here it is, and then binding dot edit text email dot set text to mcontact dot get email, right? So I can set up the email and name, right? So now if you run it, you'll see that the email and name will be set up correctly here, right? All right, click here and click here. Here's the email and the name. When I click submit, this needs to be updated. Now the phone numbers is a different story. In the cancel, you see it works. So you click here, you click again here. You see if you click on cancel, and click here, click on the plus sign, takes you here, you add the phone number, and so on, right? So now, what happens when you add a phone number? So when you click on add a phone number, it receives the phone number. Okay, it receives it in the method here. This method receives the phone number. So let me copy this from here. right, and put it somewhere here so that you could see it. So you receive the phone number here, right? Now what we need to do, we would like to store that phone number, store the phone number under the current account, right? Current contact on Firebase, right? So basically we will need the Firebase auth. So basically we'll do Firebase Firestore, I mean db equals Firebase Firestore, and basically what we need to do is to store it. So basically in order to store it, there are two ways of doing this. One option is to add that to the list of numbers here, add that to the list of numbers and that you have, because mcontact has a list of numbers, right? Add that to the list of numbers and then replace the list of numbers here with the new list of numbers. Replace everything, right? Rewrite the full phone numbers. Or what I could do is I could just say, hey, add that phone number here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the add option. So I'll say db.collection and contacts.m.document, and this is mcontact.getDocumentID dot update, and then it needs a map. So basically let's do the hash map string and object equal data equal new hash map. So here is my hash map, data equal dot put phone numbers, right? So basically the phone numbers, which is, where is it, this phone numbers, right? And what I'm going to do is phone numbers, comma, field value dot array union. You see here, array union with the phone number that you just sent me, and then basically that becomes the data that I would like to update. All right. So basically what's going to happen is when you send back a phone number, that phone number is just going to be directly added to Firebase. So basically, let's see, this should work actually. So let's run this. It does the union. So basically it's going to take whatever that object that you sent me and edit. So let's go back here, put this a little bit here so that you could see it. Maybe I can put them beside each other. Let's see if I can do this. All right, that's good enough. Let's go here, click here, add the phone number, and 1 2 3 4 5 6. Here is a lot of ones. And who is that user again? Let's see. This user is Tom, so we are not looking at the right one. Here is Tom, has only one item. Click here, 33333333. Click on submit, and you see here 333 got added. Add another one. There's 44444. Submit, it got added. You click another one. Let's say 666666, and make it work. Submit, got added. So basically, all what I did in order to make this happen is that when I receive the new phone number, I'm just adding it to Firebase directly using the field value dot array union and giving it the phone number. All right, good. So we're done with this, right? Now let's display things. So basically, in order to display things, I need a snapshot listener. So I'll go here, db dot collection, which is contacts dot document, which is the mcontact dot get document ID dot add snapshot listener, new snapshot listener. Here it is. And I know that I need to have a listener registration, so we'll do that. Listener registration, contact listener. Here it is. And basically that's the contact listener equal to this, and then we'll do the same thing on destroy view. If contact destination is not equal to null, then contact destination dot remove, and then contact listener equal to null. All right, good. So that's this done. Now here we can check to see if error is not equal to null. All right, then we're going to do toast. All right, so we're good here. All right, so we changed the value to a class. Here it is. And now we need to just notify the adapter. So we need the adapter. I need to set up this adapter, which is a recycler view. So let's go back. Man, okay, let's see. All of that stuff is good. now we go here and create a class. We call it the phone numbers adapter. Extends the recycler view holder. So that's recycler view dot adapter, and we go here and we'll do class phone number extends the recycler view adapter, and the class, and this is the holder. The holder, we need to implement the method, and we copy that from here, we paste it here, import, and then it needs import class, and basically need to implement the methods, and here we are. Alright, so basically the phone numbers that are being displayed, I am going to do this. I'm going to have an array list of phone numbers. I call it M phone numbers. Here it is. Okay, so here we are. And basically that's what I'm going to use in the adapter here. So basically this guy dot size, here it is. Okay, good. So now here binding, which is the phone number item binding. We'll come back to it. Phone number list item binding. Okay, here it is. Okay, now we call it item binding. Again, same story. Copy that from here to here and paste it here. Okay, we have that also. Okay, we're good here, and then basically we're going to do the phone number. Okay, here is the phone number equal to this dot equal to phone number. Here it is. So we have that all. So I'm just setting up the adapter, right? So here we are, and then we return a new phone number with the item binding. Here it is. Okay, we're good here, and then basically what we're going to do here is holder dot setup UI with phone number. Okay, so we're good. The phone number adapter is set up. Good to go. Now we go in, and in on view created we can do this kind of stuff. So here it is. Okay, I need this adapter somewhere here outside. Here's my adapter. Alright, so adapter equal new phone adapter. So I have the adapter, then we do binding the recycler view dot set layout manager new get context. Alright, and then binding dot recycler view set adapter to adapter. So we have the adapter setup here. We have that. We have the contact. Now we need to do this. We need to do m phone numbers dot clear m phone numbers dot add all, which is the m contact dot get phone numbers, m phone numbers, and then you do the adapter dot notify data has changed. Notify data set changed, right? So we're good here. That's whenever the data changes, just it's gonna go and get the data anyway from the server. So we know do that. Now what we're going to do, that's with regard to the adapter, right? So we are doing all that stuff correctly here and here and here. Alright, so let's run it and see what happens, right? Alright, so let's click on here and we click on edit and displaying the phone numbers, right? Now if you go add another one, let's say for example this is all zeros, right? And other, click submit, and you see here all zeros and other. Okay, cool. So it seems it's working. Okay, good. So now let's do the delete. So basically the delete is in the adapter. If you look at the adapter here, here is the delete. Now what we're going to do, the same as we did in the so this is what we did for when you add a new one. So basically I'm going to copy the exact same code and I'm going to paste it here. You have a hash map, phone numbers, field value, array union. Instead of array union, array remove, right? So basically remove the phone number and so on. So basically it's going to remove it from Firebase. So now notice what's going to happen. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click on edits. You see this number, I'm going to click on the delete. It got deleted. So basically what happens is that this gets called, you delete it from the array. Here it is, and then basically this notifies the snapshot listener. Snapshot listener goes all the way and we refresh the list. All right, so now let's look at the submit. So the submit only changes these two fields, right? So basically in the submit, we're just going to change these two fields. So what I'm going to do is when the user clicks submit, so basically I'm going to do binding.submit. Where is submit? Here it is. Basically we need to check to see if string name equals binding.edit name and then string email binding.email. So I have the email and name. Check to see if name if the name is empty, right, is equal to null, or it's not ever going to be equal to null. If it's empty, then it cannot be empty. So that's one, right? And the same thing with the email. I'm going to copy this from here, and this is the email, right? And email cannot be empty, right? Then else what I'm going to do, I am going to create, so basically let me copy the code. Okay, I need the hash map, I need the email, the name and the email. I put them here. They need to match whatever you have here. So basically it's called email, it has name, right? So here's email name, DB collection update, right? So just update with this data, and then then you just tell it that we can also have here add on click list, new on complete listener, and then basically all we can do is just say go back. All right, here we are. Yes. All right, so basically all what I did is I tell it to go there, update it with this data. It will only update this data, and we're done. So let's run it and see. Okay, so let's say this Harris guy, we want to change the email. So let's go in, instead of HG, I want to do H, submit. Now he's h@h.com. You click here. Let's say we add another number for him, 99999, make it work, update, and you click on submit. Now he's 9999. You click even add back. And Tom, let's edit his email. Here it is. Call it Tom at this, submit. Now he's Tom at T. Go back, Tom at T, and so on. We are able to delete, we're able to create a new user, and we're able to do many other things. So basically, let us know if you have any questions. This shows you a sketch of this solution of this assignment, but basically it's all about how you manage data going to Firebase and reading data from Firebase. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.